It's been hard to pin down exactly who invented or first wore the Longyi, but the story is that it originated in India and Malay. And while it might be thought that I mean Malaysia, I do in fact mean Malay. Malaysia is the 1963 post-British independent iteration of Malay, so bear with me here. The story seems to point to that now comfortable and light garment worn traditionally by the Burmese was first a 9-meter piece of cloth that was wrapped and draped around the wearer in an intricate fashion and served as a covering for the body, rain, shine, work, play, wake, or sleep. So let's take a look at this habiliment, this raiment, this traditional apparel, the Longyi. You are listening to Tales of Myanmar, where I try to relate to you, the listener, what it's like to live and work in an historical, ancient culture, a former British colony, and now war-torn land. To begin, the Longyi, as it is often called, is actually the paso. The Longyi is the female version of this garment. However, the locals don't seem to know the difference either, so let's just stick with Longyi. I love wearing the Longyi. My nethers have thanked me since the first day I donned one for a ceremonial event, and Asia, obviously racist Asia, loves it when you conform to their norms. So, all around, it's a tradition that I embrace fully. There are issues, several that I will now recount. Beyond the complaints and the unsolicited and widely varying history lessons I receive from locals, and the occasional derisive laughter from some old woman on the street, there are drawbacks for conformity and, shall we say, cooling my bits. First, simply put, no pockets. So, some men wedge their wallets into the waistband of the Longyi. And while I'm not a fan and do not do this myself, I can see the utility, if not the security. The consequences of this is that men often carry purses like satchels that contain all the things that pockets might otherwise accommodate. Access to your keys, as a result, becomes a very effeminate-looking set of steps with hip-cocking and digging gestures that are more often seen being carried out by women. I also have managed to avoid carrying the man purse. However, on a rare occasion, you may see a man with a fanny pack buckled around his waist over the top of his Longyi. I have also avoided this, as I came up in the 80s and fanny packs were, well, just gay. Not homosexual, gay. Lucky for me, I have long carried a waterproof messenger bag that carries anything one might need for any outing, from wallet to weapon to wireless, so no pockets, no problem. For me, at least. But that's not all. The freedom of movement can be an issue. And as anyone who wears a dress on a regular basis can tell you, modesty and the occasional slipping episode comes into play. Depending on the weather and the occasion, you can wear your Longyi at whatever length you like. You can even gather the cloth in the front and pull it through your legs front to back and tuck it into your waistband and create a de facto pair of shorts that look a bit like a manly diaper. But I digress. If you wear Longyi long, stepping on it can be an issue when going upstairs. This, if not secured properly, can rather rapidly tear down the Longyi and cause a falling upstairs incident for the wearer. So, like the princess, we must lift and carry our extra material, and this ties up hands, which means carrying groceries or anything for that matter is not often an option. Now, you could be wondering what's so bad about having your Longyi fall down. Nothing. If you can immediately retie it and continue moving, and you are wearing underclothes. Many locals do not. Oh, I do, for this very reason. But many locals do not. So, I suppose I could go on about how you must adjust the Longyi every time you sit so you're not letting it ride up and getting too snug in your seat. But I would just be picking at nits. In general, the Longyi is an excellent warm weather alternative to trousers. So while you might not be itching to wear one to work, I can tell you that a warm summer day is easily mitigated by wearing only a Longyi and some skin around the house. It's cooling, freeing, and a huge reduction in sweating and binding. To sum up, if you can get past wearing what most certainly looks like a snug evening gown, and live with the fact that it looks much better on thin men than it does on fat men, and that it is absolutely no way to carry anything but itself and to cover your privacy, the Longyi is far and away one of the best ways to fight high temperatures and humidity. And while I'm no joiner, I do believe that if several million Burmese people swear by its utility and comfort, who am I to argue? You've been listening to Tales of Myanmar. Thank you for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and click like if those options are available to you. As for me, my necessaries are embarked. Farewell.